Here is the review of Generation Toy Tyrant, which is their take on an IDW Megatron. Now, before we get into this review, y'all may be asking to yourselves, hey Colton, didn't you already review an IDW Megatron before by third party? Yes, I have. But that version that I reviewed, which was made by Mastermind Creations, was the Autobot version. And this is his Decepticon self. But this was before he became before he switched sides and joined the Autobots. And also, like I already told you, the Autobot Megatron was from Mastermind Creations. This one is from Generation Toy, which is the same third-party company that I reviewed OpX, their take on IDW Optimus Prime. So that way y'all are not confused. But onto the figure here. As you can see, Megatron is, as you can see, is what is called a stealth bomber jet. And if this mode does kind of look familiar to you, this was the same one that I reviewed. The Generations Thrilling 30th Dreadwind and the Generation 2 one, which came with Smokescreen. But both of those have the same alt modes, like this one does. And I would show you a comparison with this versus the original one, even though I just have a repaint of it, but I no longer have it with me anymore. So there's gonna be no comparisons with this versus the original one. But I know the original one is a lot smaller compared to this one in vehicle mode and also in robot mode. But what is different about this versus the original one is that this one has a lot of purple panel linings on him, like you can see here. All around, even on the back. And he does have some pink spots right there on the back. And he does have some red paint for the cockpit here and also here. And on the front you do have some translucent purple on these things here on the front. And on the back, you do have some more of that translucent purple along with some silver here and some silver around here with some like gunmetal gray. And you do get some more silver and a little bit of translucent purple, which is that part. And the same here, which was on the other wing. And here's the bottom here. You have a lot more purple panel linings with some silver here. And some more silver here. And my only problem with it is these things here on the bottom don't lock in anywhere. Like everything else about the stealth bomber jet holds together really well, except for these things. Like whenever you try to mess with him, one of these things will just knock right out, because they don't hold in anywhere. Like tap in anywhere. Oh, and if some of y'all are wondering, does he have any landing gears to help him support in vehicle mode? Well, the answer is no. Because there's no landing gear on him, as you can see. But he does come with an accessory to help him support him. And he only comes with one accessory, both in bomber mode and in robot mode. And that is this display stand right here. And as you can see, it's all black, and it does have some translucent purple here. And another thing, well, there is a couple of options that you can do with the stand, and that is you can take these here and slide these out, and it will reveal some more translucent purple details here. And also, the display stand here does remove, and it attaches on these two holes into these two T-pegs here. I don't know why they're both separate, but okay. I think it's so that you can have him stand on this part of the stand without the little arm here. That does attach to him, both in bomber mode and in robot mode. And you do have a little indent here for a Decepticon sticker to be placed here. And as for the arm here itself, the way it moves is, oh, and this armature here does come separate when you get them out of the box. You just attach it on from the peg that's on this part here and the peg that's on this part right here. And these both here just snap in. But the way the armature here moves is it can move on this joint here, and this part does slide as you move it, like it slides up and down. And this part can extend, so you can have it like that. And also the tab here does move up and down. And there are 3 locking points for the armature here. And that is, the first locking point is right here. If you have this in any angle you want, then you just take this and bring it up, and this helps lock this in place so it can't move up and down. Well, it can move up, but if you move it up, this does unlock it. But if you move it down, it stays there. And as for this part here, if you slide it up on any angle you want, then you would take this piece and flip it up, and that helps lock this in place. And for this peg here, if you have it in any direction you want, you just push on this little thing here, and that locks it in place so it can't move. And the way you would attach Megatron to this stand is on the bottom of his field commode, there's a hole right here where that peg goes into. So you can have him be displayed like this. And there is another piece that this stand goes to, but we're going to get to that in robot mode. And speaking of robot mode, let's get into that. First, I gotta situate things back the way they were. So to transform him, you're first going to take the tip of the wings and remove them and set these off to the side for now. Now you're going to come to these panels here and untap them. And flip them up. And the way these tap in is this little hook tab goes into that hole, and these two pegs goes into these holes here. And once, well, and then you do the same on the other side. So they look like this. Now on the bottom, you're going to take these things and flip these up so they look like this. And now you're going to take these things and untap them and bring them up so they look like this. Now you're going to take these, swing these up, and these will tap in. Now you're going to take these, untap them from these pegs and these pegs here, from these two holes and these two holes here. And now you're going to rotate them down. And for these things, you want to take these and flip these up. So they look like that. And for these things, you're going to take these and flip these up. And for what will become his knees, you're just going to rotate them and straighten them down. And to get his feet out, you do want to take these purple things and untap them and flip them up. But I will have to use a tool to help me out. Just like that. And on the insides of these purple things, you do want to take these things and flip these up. And now you're going to take what will become his feet and bring them around. And on the insides, you want to take these things and bring these down and flip these down. And you do want to take these and push them out. So they look like that. And then you want to take the knee pads and bring them down. Now for these things, you're going to close these back up, and these things are going to go into that little square hole from these silver things, and these will help secure these silver parts. so that these won't push back in. You can see right there where my finger is at. And now you're going to take the feet and take his toes and rotate them around. Then take the heels and flip them out. And that's one leg all done. And then you do the same on the other side. And rotate the toe around and flip out the heel. So now we got the legs all done. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this waist piece, untap it, and bring it down, and this taps into those two pegs on the top. And yeah. Just these two pegs from these two holes here. Now you're going to take first I gotta like scooch up some. Now you're gonna take these two black things here and bring them up so that way you can bring this down. And if this hasn't done so already, you do want to untap this peg from that hole right there. And then you just want to take this and flip it in. Oops. And inside here, you do want to take these silver and purple things and open them up, but I will have to use a tool. Then you're going to take this piece here and rotate it all the way around. And you do want to bring these up, and these are going to tap into those black pegs, into these notches here. And then you want to take this entire piece and just shift it down so it looks like that. And now you're going to take this waist piece and bring it up on this joint here, and these 4 pegs are going to go into these 2 pegs here and these 2 pegs here on the top here. Now for the front of the bomber jet, we're gonna untap these pegs from here and bring it all the way down. Just have to be very careful not to break these pegs here, which I didn't. And now you're gonna take the front of the bomber jet and wiggle it until it untabs. And you can bring these out. And this will allow you to take the cockpit here and fold it down. And it will also allow you to take his head right here and push it out from here. So that way you can take this entire top piece and bring it down. And for his head, you're gonna shift it all the way up so it looks like that. Now for these things, you're gonna there we go. You're gonna untap these and bring these all the way back. And this will allow you to take these silver things here and flip them up. But of course, I will have to use a tool to help me out. Now for these things here, like these joints here, that tab is going to go into that little hole right there. And this hole is going to go into these tabs right here. But before you do that, you do have to bring this forward, and this tab is going to go into that hole right there. And that little hook is going to go in here. And then you do the same on the other side, except this hook is going to go into that right there. If I can, there we go. Now you can take these holes and tap them into these pegs here. So now that we got the chest all done, oh, we do want to take the cockpit here and tab it into this hole and that peg right there. And as for this piece, you're just going to push it down. Now for the arms, you're gonna rotate them up and bring them down. And you do want to open up these translucent purple things so that you can flip out these things here. And for the elbows, you do want to untap these and bring these down, and that will allow you to open up these things here so you can flip out his hands. And fold them back down and tap them in. And you do want to take these and bring these down, and they will tap in. And you do want to take these and push these down so that'll reveal some more painted in details underneath these things. And then you do the same on the other side here. And this one is well, it's folded down. And last but not least, you're going to take his head here and bring it up, and his head will tap into this hole and that gray peg right there. So it looks like that. And we're almost done. The last part we need to do is of course we need to give him his fusion cannon, or his rail gun cannon. So to do that, we need to take these two tips of the wings and flip these back, extend these here, which will reveal some more translucent purple. And then you're going to take these and slide these back so they look like this. And then you do the same on the other side. you're just gonna attach these together, and that's the rail gun. And the way this attaches is this silver tab goes into a hole right here. And you're done. And he looks really great in robot mode. From his earlier days in the IDW comics. But he still looks really awesome. And he does have a lot of silver paint on him to help break up a lot of the black from the stealth bomber mode. And you do get some purple on his legs here. A little bit of gold here. And you also get more of that translucent purple on his knee pads here. And some purple on these things here, as well as some purple on his feet here. And, oh, and he also has some purple on these things here. And some silver here. And a little bit of gold right there. And he also has some gold lining here on both sides of his legs here. And his head sculpt here does have some silver on his face and some silver on his chest here. And all around, he looks really great and awesome from his earlier days in the IDW comics. And for articulation, head is on a swivel, but I wouldn't go all the way around because he does have some light up features in his eyes. But it can move up and down. Arms can rotate all the way around. They can move in and out, but you will have to like open up these translucent things and flip these up so you can move his arms out. Bicep swivel, elbow, his hands can move on this joint here, swivel here, and his hands can open, and he does have the trigger finger here, which can move on this joint and that little pin joint here. He does have a waist swivel, but you will have to untap his waist piece to make his waist swivel. Legs can move, they can only move forward about there on a ratchet, and they can move back with no problems, because these things do get in the way. But they can move in and out. Thigh swivel, ratcheted knees. Feet can move up and down, and he has an ankle pivot. And that's it. And as for the stand here, the way you would attach him to the stand is this peg goes into that hole right there on that translucent purple piece. So you can have him like this if you want to. Or he does also come with a little claw here that you can attach to the stand here using this hole and that peg here. And these little things do open. And the way you grapple this onto Megatron is by here. And I just forgot to tell you the only issue I have with him in robot mode. And that is these things here on the back just stick out on the back. I mean, he does have a cleaner back, but I wish that they would do something with these things to help hide them instead of having them stick out on his back. And like I said, he does have a light up feature. And the way you would do it is on the back of his head, he does have a little switch right there And when you flick it, oh, his eyes glow red. And that's about it. And for a size comparison, here he is next to OpX, which is made by the same company like this guy here. So you can see how they look together. And for another size comparison, here is the old IDW Megatron design with the current IDW Megatron design here. So that's about it for Tyrant. Their take on an IDW Megatron. So final thoughts, but both his bomber mode and his robot mode looks really awesome and cool. But a couple problems I have with it is in his bomber mode, those things on the bottom of the bomber jet don't lock in anywhere. And the robot mode, the only problem I have with it is these things just stick out on its back, which I wish that they would do something with these things to help hide them and have a more cleaner back. But everything else about the figure looks really great. So I think that's about it. So there you have it. Generation Toy Tyrant. Their take on an IDW Megatron. And if you like this video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you want to check out some other videos you may have missed, there is a playlist set up on my YouTube channel. So I think that's about it. So thanks for watching.